the patrol just started when we were ambushed, and immediately to the front, it like being in the middle of fireworks, and I'm exposed in the tank commander's cupola at that time. So a lot of chaos was going on. There was a lot of noise on the radio from the grunts that were being hit as well. As we later learned, there were several satchel charges and things thrown at the tank. Then I got an email from Gil Hernandez, who said that he was in the element we were operating with was Gulf 2-3, and that was one of their fire teams that we had on the back of the tank that night. I got an email that said that he remembers that incident, and I kind of thought, well, it's maybe somebody there that had been at the rescue party or whatnot, and kind of really didn't follow up on it. And then I learned of a article that was in a VFW report, I believe, and this is like maybe 2 years ago, somewhere around a couple years ago, that this man's story, this Marine, was serving with Gulf 2-3 on the night of 25 April. And he was blown off the back of the tank and everything else. His body was so badly wounded that he was sent to Graves registration because he was presumed dead. The story further goes that one of the Graves registration people there had seen his body move and then went in and told somebody at the medical facility there that this Marine was still alive. They moved him back in, they checked him out. The doctor said there's no way that the man's alive. You must have seen some kind of a, movement of the body just by convulsion or whatever, but, it sent him back out. Well, this occurred a couple of more times, and finally someone paid enough attention to him, and Gil Hernandez was in fact alive.
Dong Ha, and that's where Graves registration was, and that was where the doctors were. I think it was Dong Ha. And when I got in there, I remember looking, and I thought it was all one time. And people asked me, because I was declared dead 3 times, they asked me, what's it like to be dead? Did you see the light? And I thought for a minute, well, maybe I did see a light, but then I always thought, maybe it's because so many people always say, well, you see a light, and then you see these movies where you see a light, but I gotta swear and tell you, it was more like a dream. You know how when you go to sleep and you dream and then you wake up? But I thought it was all one time. I didn't realize it was 3 different times that they declared me dead.
The company got overrun. We come in with 2 tanks, and it was at Quezon, outside of Quezon.
Okay.
Outside of LZ Hawk. Okay. And we come in, and he had overrun this hill. I'm not sure what the name of the hill was. Some of the other guys that I listed remember, but I don't remember the name of the hill. In any case, we had infantry with us, and we couldn't bring the tanks down in because of the elephant grass. We found that the infantry that was with us, their commanders, most of the leaders, had been shot or killed, wounded or killed.
We were told that the replacements were on their way out, so we'll stay there until they get there. So maybe about a half hour later, I see a couple of trucks coming down the road, and I was just kind of standing by the tank, and I'm watching, and I realize there's two trucks that are totally full of Marines, and I didn't really understand that. I watched them as they pulled up right alongside us, and I'm looking at well, first the CO gets off the truck, and he comes over to me and asks me what happened. So I explained, and I'm looking at the trucks, and I'm looking at the cooks, the armorers, other truck drivers, corpsmen. And I said, Lieutenant, I don't understand. Why are all these people here? And he said, you asked for help. And he said, when I got down to the trucks to come out here, they were full. He says, I couldn't turn them away.
I'd been drinking all day. But on the way back after Waggle and Blakemore hit the mine, I remember opening up the beer and I was drinking, and I looked down from the TC's cupola and I seen a spider hole, but it was empty. There was nobody there. But something told me anybody could have been in there. They could have blown my brain up. And I threw away the beer can. I didn't drink no more that week, you know. But I remember that particular day, not for the firefighter to thank, because of that beer drinking, you know. Because, you know, the wall box by the gunner seat?
Yep.
He can tell you, I used to keep that full of beer. not ammo, I keep it full of beer. And that particular day, I would just pop a top, and they'd pop a top and give me one, you know. But that particular day, I remember looking down and I seen the spider hole, but there was no one in there. But it scared me so bad that I gave up drinking for the rest of the week.
Business, and that part of the story is over. The neat part of the story is, what, 45 years later?
Yeah, roughly 45 years later.
45 years later, you know, I had a friend, boot camp, and we were having dinner one night, and he told me, you know, and he was in tanks too.
Right.
He was in Charlie Company, but he says, you know, there's a tanker association out there, and I said, no, I didn't know that. And so he gave me the website. I went on the website and, you know, signed up for it and put my name in and figured that's it, you know. I was in the association. Well, come, let's see.
It was 07.
Yeah, it was 07, and I get this email from Dave, or from a person.
Yeah.
And
You probably don't even remember his name at this
no, and I told my wife, you know,
And all I knew was his last name, but
Yeah.
there can't be too many Kropkis. And I knew he was from California. For some reason I knew you were from California, and I don't know how I knew that.
But-
I didn't know he was from
but I had told this story, you know, about this lieutenant who got into Vietnam, you know, and he 10 minutes in the field and he's out, you know.
You broke a record.
And
Well, it didn't help the average any. I don't know if it's a record, but it didn't help the average.
So yeah, but I never knew his name or anything, you know. And so people go, wow, you know, what a story. You know? Well, anyway, I get this email, you know, give it to Dave on the email.
And he answered, and so I called him. And I called his house. And the first time I called, his wife answered the phone. She said, he's in the shower. And I said, well, my name is Dave Thompson, and I was in the Marine Corps with Roger, and he was with me when I was wounded. Oh, he wants to talk to you. I've heard that story 100 times over the years. He said, I'll go get him. I said, no, just wait. I'll call back. She said, no, he'll call you as soon as he gets out of the shower. And he did. And we talked, I don't know, 45 minutes or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we only knew each other 10 or 15 minutes.
It was off of the Tanker Association website.